Alright, here's a mystery branded 10-inch generic model box fan. There's really no brand to this fan in particular, though these were came under a plethora of different brands towards the late 90s, early 2000s. Most of these might look familiar to some. See, it just says 10-inch box fan, where there would normally be a company badging. This is unlike the Duracraft ones. This is a 3-speed model. It's two-tone gray. It's got like a light gray front, and then the back half is a darker gray, and the blades are gray as well. Here's the back of it. It's like a little C-frame motor. I've owned this fan for almost a year now, and I use it. I kind of favor this little thing if I feel like, whenever I do feel like using one of these little bearing rattler fans, as I call them, because it does have that notorious bearing rattle. These ones and the Duracraft ones and all the other variations of this specific style blade and motor are infamously known for that bearing rattling sound. And, I want to say, in my opinion, it's just the plastic construction of that motor housing on these that tend to just kind of strip out over time, especially if you take it apart and reassemble it, clean it for cleaning every season or whatever. Eventually the plastic will end up stripping out with screws set in. So that's what I think leads to the motor being unstable and making that rattling sound. So on the side and get its model information sticker. Here it is. Deluxe box fan. Model DB-100, size 10-inch, voltage 120 volts, 60 hertz, 0.6 amps, 40 watts. Made in China. And yeah. Now, what I find debatable is I've heard people claiming that these were Duracraft brand box fans. I have reason to believe that these have nothing affiliated with the Duracraft version of these, seeing how the blades, well, I mean, for me, it's the blades are just shaped different, pitched differently. That's obviously not a Duracraft style blade. The Duracraft models had a little bit more sharp points towards the edge of the blade there. And overall, just different blade style and completely. I'm not really, I'm always kind of curious of who actually started the patent of these fans. I mean, I've seen them labeled, I've seen them sold at dollar stores, named over different brands. I believe this one might have came from like a grocery store, like a Giant or a Safeway or something. Oh, it doesn't have the date on the, there's no date information on the stickers. I had it apart. There is a date stamp on the stator of the motor. It dates to 1998. So that's even when the motor was made in this fan. I'm not sure. This possibly could be a 1999 model even. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure most people will think, oh, these are Duracraft box fans, but these are completely different. While they may be similar to the patent, these aren't. These are completely different styles for various reasons. And the other reason being it's a 3-speed. Well, I don't think I've ever seen a 3-speed Duracraft 10-inch box fan. Those are most of the ones I've seen. I could be wrong, but all the ones that I've seen were in 2 speeds. Well, the ones with these blades and this style were generally all 3 speeds. I did have to jerry rig the spindle because this fan has been heavily used even before I acquired it. The spindle of the blade hub stripped out on the shaft, so it would I had to kind of put some gum in there, and it's been working great ever since. So the reason I like this fan, because it has 3 speeds and actually puts out a pretty good breeze. One of these. high speed. Give it a minute to wake up. Oh man, it's definitely moving a pretty nice, pleasurable breeze. Let's see. These really aren't bad. Really good sleeping fans, in my opinion. They're really quiet, even on high speed. I can sleep to that sound. No problem. Point six amps, 40 watts. Medium speed. Medium speed's really nice. Three watts, 0.5 amps. I'm only giving that number because they're given for the higher voltage going to that outlet there. Low speed. Wow, even on low speed, these are just make a phenomenal little breeze. I mean, it's probably one of the better of these cheaper, you know, designed to be cheaper, manufactured to be cheaper box fans. These models aren't bad. .28 watts, 0.4 amps. And 22.3 volts. Going up to 28, almost 29 watts. Full speed. Nice long coast down, so I've oiled this fan plentiful, so it's probably going to last a while. And I have I don't know if I mentioned, I have seen this blade style on the Lakewood fans that were made in this similar era. Most of you might be familiar with what I'm talking about. They were kind of like a rounded edge. And they had a switch, I believe it was on top. It was just a centered switch. But that fan and those similar models did have that same particular blade style. So maybe Lakewood patented these. I'm not really sure. I would like to. Would be kind of interesting to find out. I'm gonna fire up this old masterpiece for a little while today. Give it another pretty good cleaning. Got the motor really nice and clean. I did move the badge down here only because I like to get air induction through the motor to keep it cool. Not that I didn't like the badge there or anything. I just figured it would help the longevity of the motor, in my opinion.